Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Onset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So today I want to take a look at this deck. This deck was given to me by one of my family members, my daughter's girlfriend actually. She gave this to me because I love Rumi, and Rumi comes from the Sufi tradition. Rumi was a poet. He was a Sufi. Sufi are from the Muslim tradition, and I didn't know much about it. So she got this for me because I wanted to learn more about, Sufi wisdom and some of the other, people who have done quotes and things from that particular culture. So it's called The Divine Guidance Through the Hearts of the Great Sages. So as you can see, beautiful box, very sturdy. And let's look at it. Not too expensive. I believe she got it for me from Amazon. And I guess you can probably go to Blue Angel directly as well. There's going to be 44 cards here. And it says the timeless and tender beauty of truth. Oh, that is nice. These are not going to be in order because I use these a lot. I love this deck. Yes, I've already used it, so it's not a true unboxing and first impressions. It's going to be simply a review. I'm going to show you every card, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I've worked with this deck. So if you want to read the back, you can screenshot that, or you can pause it, and we're going to get right into the cards. So I'm going to show them to you, even though they're not in order. I'm going to show them to you anyway. If I'm correct, they're in alphabetical order. Here's the booklet. Nice big book. The pictures are in black and white. And basically, you get a little poem right here. And the name of the card, of course. They talk a little bit about it. And they give you a mantra. So let's take a look at the cards first. And then I'll show you a little bit more with the Oracle book. All right, so I love the art with these. Each card has this phenomenal artwork, as you can see. And I'm going to pull this closer so you guys can read the bottom, because each one has some words. So this one is about faith being your guide. So you can just pull these cards. One thing I've noticed about them from using them, if you want to, oh, let me show you the back of these. Gorgeous, right? Love that. I love the backs of these. It's a pretty big card, as you can see. I got big hands, so it doesn't bother me to grab them and shuffle them. But some people, don't like the size of the Blue Angel cards because of that. Great card stock. Not too thick, not too thin. Very sturdy. Should definitely last the test of time. So, as I was saying before, you can read these without the guidebook. If you seriously want to just, pull one and see the message and maybe journal about it or think about it to yourself. Like this one says time to play. Beautiful picture. And you can think to yourself, okay, how does this apply to my life? Am I playing enough? Am I not playing enough? Am I playing too much? So you don't really have to look at the guidebook if you don't want to. Some days if I'm in a hurry and I just want a really quick positive message, I'll just grab one. Accepting challenges. Okay, how am I accepting challenges? How am I not accepting challenges? Do I need to challenge myself? And as you can see, what I love about this deck is not only is the artwork beautiful, but these are great ideas of things to journal about. Most of the time when people journal, they write about their day. And this is fine. Your emotions about your day, your feelings about your day, kind of like a diary. That's fine. A lot of people use it that way. But I like to use journal prompts. And a journal prompt, you can get a book of journal prompts, or you can also get them on Amazon or free ones on Google. But I'll take a card like this, and this is my journal prompt. Limitation is power. So I would write that day about my limitations. Am I pushing past my limitations? What are my limitations? Am I limiting myself or others limiting me? So my journal entry for that day would be all about limitations. So for those of you out there that's thinking to yourself, well, I'm not a card reader. How am I going to use these cards? It's easy. You shuffle them. Get nice and quiet in your spirit. You know, I like to do a little, I like things like this to be sacred, because some people always tell me that, you know, they don't feel like they have any kind of spiritual practice. This is an easy spiritual practice. Buying a deck like this, very, very easy spiritual practice to utilize. And it could be very profound at the same time, because you get yourself centered. You know, turn your phone off, disconnect from your friends and your phone and Instagram. You know, turn everything off and just get quiet. Light some incense in your room. Put on some beautiful Mozart or something. You know, some soft, soothing music. You know, and just sit there and breathe and contemplate and think and pull a card and then write about what comes up. This is the energy of love. So for a lot of us, what comes up is going to be something we're struggling with, or we're getting ready to struggle with, or something we might have, it might be confirmation, like, yeah, you've done good with this, or you are doing good with this. Now this one, the energy of love card, behold the world through the eyes of love. I would write about love. Am I having struggles in my love life? Who do I love? Am I in love? You know, I would write about that kind of thing. Am I showing loving energy? Am I showing up in my love relationships? So if I got this card, I would go in, you know, all about what my feelings that day are about love. Do not be frustrated. And for me, the colors and the beauty. Now you're getting ready to see, because you know it's called the Sufi Oracle for a reason. It's because they're going to tie each of these gorgeous pictures and each of these themes to a Sufi poem by Rumi, Hafiz, a bunch of other famous, you know, Sufi ancient poets. And they're going to tie in a poet to each one of these beautiful pieces of artwork. So for those of you who do want to take it a step further, I personally suggest the book. Because what I do is, and you're going to see at the end of this, I take a card, I go to the book, and I just read the beautiful poem. I read what it's talking about. I think about it, you know. Mantras is something for you to chant over and over again. You might be like spending time by yourself and sitting there and thinking to yourself, okay, well, I'm really having a problem with my willpower. Let me see what the book says about willpower. Sit and read it, see if there's a mantra with it, you know, muse about it. These kind of things. This is the kind of thing that I do on a daily basis to try to keep myself grounded. Heart of the matter. What is the real heart of the matter? Look how beautiful this art is. I could see myself sitting there, my head down, and God is walking up on me, talking to me. The artwork is another great part of that vibration, because I can see myself in the art, like I just said. You know, put yourself in the art. And look at those colors. I like the color choices. The blue backings on this color blue is magnificent. That was the first thing I noticed about the deck. Before I even knew what the deck was about, I was like, that backing is magnificent. I love it. And then I got the deck and I was like, oh, I like this a lot. I like anything that really gets me to feel something. These images make me feel, these colors make me feel something. And these are all common themes that we go through, you know, in our existence. We all go through life's purpose, for example. You know, we all have to figure that out. Why are you here? What are you doing here? Look at that. Look at that picture. Like, what are you doing here? Have you found your purpose? Do you even have a purpose? You know, some of us are living our purpose. How does that feel? And what does that mean for those around you? Can you help them with their purpose? Nice. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I just love that vibration. And whoever did this art, which we're getting ready to find out, friendships. Ooh, let's see if I can find out who did the artwork on here, because this artwork is really drawing me in. Let's see. We'll have to wait till we get to the book to find out who the artist is in the back of the book, because I really want to know. I love this kind of art, abstract art, I would call it. Some of it is not very abstract, like the people are kind of precise, but like this, like, oh my God, when I look at this, drunk with love. Wow. It's so funny because Rumi always talks about getting drunk off love. Have you ever been so in love that you felt drunk? I think I have. I love that. That would be nice to talk about that day. Maybe do a journal entry about a time that I was drunk in love, like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Ending a trauma. So you're getting over something. That's good. So as you can see, I'm really impressed by this deck. I love it. I love the pictures. I love how they brought it all together. I love how it makes you think. It takes you somewhere inside of yourself. And it takes you into Sufi, as you're getting ready to see from the poems. It takes us into Sufi philosophy. So obviously, if you want to know about Sufi people, you would get a book, Google them, meet some of them, ask them about their philosophies. But this is just another way. Look at that tapestry in the background. Oh, that's gorgeous. Listen to advice. How many of us are so hard-headed that we don't listen? So yeah, so it's just another way to take you into the world of the Sufi. And for me, into the world of Rumi. I love Rumi. I don't know if you guys know Rumi. His name is Rumi. He is a poet, and a lot of his poetry was written about love. And even though I am single, I am always single. I am Aquarius, and we have a tendency not to want to make commitments. We will make them, but it gotta be somebody really special, okay? So even though I'm always single, I have this thing about love. I'm a third decan Aquarius, so there's a lot of Venus in that vibration, like that. And we have the tendency, you know, if you're ruled by Venus in any capacity, you're going to have that tendency sometimes towards romance. Concealed power. That's a very interesting statement. Like, what do you mean? Are you concealing your own power? That's interesting. I like that a lot. Free will. People often talk to me about God. God is the universe, Buddhism, this, that. And they often talk about like feeling like they're being controlled. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, that's the opposite of spirituality. You know, religion will try to control you. Spirituality will try to empower you to exercise your own free will when it's in its most positive form. Union of love. So maybe two people are coming together to love. I don't think love is hard. The more and more I read things like this, I don't think love is hard. I think it is the absence of love that is hard. I think it is the denial, the suppression, the repression of love that is hard. You know, but love itself, I don't think is really hard. And I think we get that twisted, you know. If you get your feelings hurt, then you're like, oh, you know, F love, you know. But it's not love's fault. It's not love's fault. You picked the wrong person, okay? That has nothing to do with love. F that person, not F love, you know. That's cool. I like that a lot. Surrender with joy. That's so beautiful. The brush strokes and the paintings are really sending me. They sending me to another dimension, I'm telling you. I love that a lot. The brush strokes are sending me. The colors are sending me. Turn over a new page. Look at her face. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So I encourage, like I said before, you can just use the cards by yourself and just look at the pictures and, write from that space. That's fine. But I really do encourage you to use the book, because as you're getting ready to see, they have these fantastic poems I keep talking about. And that could actually take you to a different space, because for me, yeah, the card is beautiful. The picture is amazing, the concept I can write about all day. But sometimes I think it really does pay to read, especially when you're doing spiritual things, because I feel like part of spirituality is learning more than you currently know. So if you're going to talk about facing your fears, okay, you know what your fears are, possibly. You might even know how to face them. But if you read the book and you read the poems that goes along with it, you'll see that maybe it's something that you didn't think about. Maybe there's an answer. A lot of times I find answers in these poems that I didn't even think about, because this is a person coming from a different perspective, an ancient perspective at that. This is gorgeous. I love that. That is really a pretty card. I know somebody that looks like that. Yeah, so it's coming from a different perspective. So that would be, sometimes I get these out and I'm like, oh, I know this already. I know how to slow down and relax. And then I look it up in the book and see something that's like, oh, I hadn't thought of that. Beyond the ego. Cool. I have never got that card before. That's cool. So now we're going to shuffle just a bit, and I'm going to take one card and show you how to use this really incredible guidebook. Try not to make too much noise. Turn the volume down. All right, you can turn the volume back to normal. All right, this is limitation is power. All right, so now we take our guidebook. So these are all in alphabetical order. And so let's see. All right, so the author and the artist are both Razuli. Razuli lives in Southern California. So the artist that you saw here, he's the artist and the creator, the author. Okay. And then limitation is power. We turn to alphabetical order. And I'm going to show you first. I'm going to show you this in case any of you would like to screenshot this or pause right here. And there's one more page. This is a different card, so it will be just this part. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what it says. I'm just going to read the poem and tell you a little bit about it. It says, limitation is power. Lean into your limitations. The poem is by Rumi, my Rumi. Rumi said, don't look for water. Become thirsty. Necessity develops organs of perception. Oh man, increase your necessity so that you may increase your perception. So what is Rumi talking about? It says here, this oracle is guiding you to embrace your new ideas creatively, to capitalize on them through your innovative capability. View them as opportunities rather than problems, and you will marvel at the brilliance which can evolve from limitation. Limitation is the fertile ground in which the seeds of creativity sprout and grow. Challenges, when approached positively, become helpful in getting creative juices flowing. So if you got this card, it would be all about leaning into your limitations. How can your limitations actually be helpful? This is a very powerful way of looking at limitation, because it's actually saying that challenge, if you look at it positively, can actually help you. Now here's the mantra. I am determined to lean into what seems to be a limitation and allow it to create a shift in the way I perceive the experience. I realize my limitations will allow me greater freedom of spirit and soul, which is the precious gift of divine grace. So as you can see, this beautiful deck, the beautiful pictures, the beautiful writing, the beautiful poem, I just think it's gorgeous, and it's one of my favorites, and it sits by me. And I have a lot of decks, so I choose, based on my vibe, where I want to go with something. But I would recommend this one, especially for someone who's a romantic, someone who's into Sufi, if you're into Rumi, if you're into Hafiz, as far as poetry is concerned. If you just want to open your heart chakra, if you're working on your heart chakra, anybody in those types of situations, I recommend the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. So let me show you again, so you can find it if you want it. And underneath this video, I'm going to put a link on Amazon. So you guys come back soon, because I have a lot more to say. See you later.